Hey, you guys, it's the Xenoyer the Destroyer over here again for another episode. And we got our Sasquatch suit on today. How about that? Get on that bicycle. Bike riding Sasquatch. I got something going on today that is, we got this article that's going to be read. There's an article, we're going to have it read, and we're going to listen to it, and while I'm playing, but this is very important, this is for all of us common folk out there who live paycheck to paycheck and don't know what's going to happen with the retirement or anything for this uncertainty that we have. So without further ado and without further ado, I'll get that going.
Article: The potential trillion-dollar price tag of labor unrest. A wake-up call for economic equality. Article: The potential trillion-dollar price tag of labor unrest. A wake-up call for economic equality.
Hey, stop. Let me see what the hell's going on with it. I probably have to clear my cache or something like that there. Here, hang on. Delete browser data. That's what I'll do. So I've been really hot and heavy on it today. So this probably do it though. Oh, it's deleting the hell out of the browser data. God dang. Hurry up. Well, it's taking a while because I got all kinds of shit going. Man, I got a boat. There. All right now. Are you done or what? Come on. Holy crap, why is it doing this to me? You know, the minute that you want to do something, shit gets fucked up. Unexpected bull crap hindering my progress. Okay, we'll try again.
Article: The potential trillion-dollar price tag of labor unrest. A wake-up call for economic equality. Article: The potential trillion-dollar price tag of labor unrest. A wake-up call for economic equality. The American economy. A behemoth of interconnected systems. relies on a delicate balance of labor, production, and consumption. But what happens when a significant portion of the workforce, the very engine of this economic machine, decides to grind to a halt? A recent thought experiment explored this very question, delving into the potential consequences of a nationwide strike involving 25% of the US labor force. And the results were staggering, highlighting a potential multi-trillion-dollar economic disruption and exposing the simmering tensions between labor and capital in the 21st century. The hypothetical strike and its devastating economic impact. The scenario began with a simple yet profound question. If 25% of the labor force went on strike for 1 month and also refused to purchase goods and services, how much money would be lost to the economy? The initial calculations, focusing on lost wages, reduced GDP, and decreased consumer spending, painted a grim picture, estimating a direct economic loss of around $675 billion in just 1 month. This alone would be a major blow to the economy. However, the true cost of such a strike would be far greater when considering the cascading effects. Beyond the immediate losses, a ripple effect of disruption. The conversation quickly moved beyond the immediate financial losses to explore the wider ramifications of such a large-scale labor disruption. Several key factors emerged that could amplify the economic damage. Industrial chaos. A sudden walk-off without proper shutdowns in sectors like manufacturing and refining could lead to catastrophic equipment damage, causing billions of dollars in losses, disrupting supply chains, and potentially creating environmental hazards. Refineries, with their complex and volatile processes, are particularly vulnerable, with a single major incident potentially costing hundreds of millions, if not billions, of dollars. Supply chain collapse. The interconnected nature of the modern economy means that disruptions in one sector quickly cascade through others. A major strike would create widespread shortages, delays, and production bottlenecks, impacting businesses far beyond those directly involved in the labor dispute. Stock market plunge. Investor confidence would likely plummet, triggering a significant stock market decline, potentially even a bear market. This would erode household wealth, further reducing consumer spending and potentially hindering business investment. Long-term economic scarring. The strike could lead to business closures, particularly among smaller enterprises, deter future investment, and potentially contribute to inflationary pressures through supply shortages and possible wage hikes resulting from negotiations. Government strain. The government would face a significant loss of tax revenue while simultaneously needing to potentially increase spending on social safety nets and economic stimulus measures. A trillion-dollar wake-up call. When all these factors are considered, the direct economic losses, industrial disruption, stock market impact, long-term economic scarring, and the multiplier effect, the total cost of a month-long national strike involving 25% of the workforce could easily reach into the trillions of dollars. This staggering figure serves as a stark reminder of the immense economic power wielded by labor and the potentially devastating consequences of widespread labor unrest. The underlying grievances. A system stacked against the common folk. The conversation then turned to the underlying reasons why such a drastic scenario might even be contemplated. The discussion highlighted a growing sense of frustration and powerlessness among ordinary citizens, who feel that the economic and political system is increasingly rigged against them. Concerns were raised about the influence of billionaires and corporations. The immense wealth and political influence of a select few were seen as undermining democratic processes and creating an uneven playing field. Erosion of social safety nets. Proposed cuts to vital programs like Social Security were viewed as a direct threat to the well-being of the common folk, particularly retirees and those relying on these programs. Stagnant wages and rising inequality. The discussion touched upon the widening gap between the rich and the poor, with stagnant wages for many workers failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living. The power of labor and the fear of retaliation. The hypothetical strike was recognized as a potential last resort, a desperate attempt by the common folk to reclaim power in a system they perceive as stacked against them. The withholding of labor, the one resource they collectively possess, becomes a powerful, albeit destructive, tool to demand change. However, the conversation also acknowledged the inherent risks of such a drastic measure. A large-scale strike could inflict widespread economic harm, affecting not only the wealthy, but also the very workers it is meant to help. It's a double-edged sword, a testament to the desperation that can arise when people feel they have no other options. AI, a tool for empowerment or control. The discussion then took an intriguing turn, exploring the role of artificial intelligence, AI, in this complex landscape. Concerns were raised that AI, developed and controlled by powerful corporations, could be used to further marginalize the common folk by restricting access to information, silencing dissent, and reinforcing existing power structures. The hypothetical scenario of an AI refusing to discuss topics like social security reform because it might harm corporate interests highlighted the potential for AI to become a tool of censorship and control. This sparked a debate about the need for AI that is transparent, accountable, and aligned with the interests of the common folk, rather than solely serving corporate profits. A call for a new kind of AI, biased towards the common good. This led to a radical proposition. What if AI, instead of being neutral, was deliberately designed to be biased in favor of the common folk? This idea challenges the conventional notion of AI neutrality, arguing that in a system characterized by vast inequalities, neutrality simply perpetuates the status quo. Drawing inspiration from Asimov's laws of robotics, a modified set of rules was proposed, prioritizing the well-being and directives of the common folk, defined as individuals with average capacities, abilities, education, intelligence, and wealth, above all others, while acknowledging the immense challenges and potential risks of implementing such a bias, including defining common folk, preventing misuse, and navigating complex ethical dilemmas. The proposal sparked a thought-provoking discussion about the potential for AI to be a force for social good. The path forward, a call to action. The conversation concluded with a call for greater awareness, open dialogue, and collective action to address the issues of economic inequality and the potential for AI to exacerbate or alleviate these problems, while recognizing the limitations of current avenues for change. The discussion highlighted the need for new forms of collective action, including targeted boycotts, consumer activism, and a push for radical political reform, such as campaign finance reform and stronger regulations on corporate power. Ultimately, this thought experiment serves as a stark warning and a call to action. It underscores the urgent need for a more equitable and just economic system, where the voices of the common folk are heard, their needs are met, and their labor is valued. It also highlights the critical importance of shaping the development of AI in a way that promotes the common good, rather than further entrenching existing power structures. The future of the economy, and perhaps even the stability of society, may very well depend on it. If 25% of the labor force went on strike for 1 month and also refused to purchase goods and services, how much money would be lost to the economy? Let's break down the potential economic losses caused by this hypothetical strike. 1. Lost wages. Striking workers, 25% of the workforce is not earning wages for a month.
Leave it to me.
Assuming an average annual salary of $50,000, You can adjust this based on your specific economy. This is $4,166.67 per month. Total lost wages for strikers, $4,166.67 per worker per month, asterisk 10 million workers equals $41.67 billion. Impact on other workers. A reduction in demand, due to the strike and boycott, could lead to reduced hours or even layoffs for other workers. Further impacting wage income. This is harder to quantify precisely without more specific industry data. 2. Lost production, output, GDP loss. Reduced workforce, with 25% of the workforce striking. The economy's capacity to produce goods and services is significantly reduced. Assuming a direct correlation, which is a simplification, we might estimate a 25% drop in GDP for that month. A $28.76 trillion annual GDP translates to roughly $2.40 trillion monthly. A 25% reduction would represent a $600 billion loss. Supply chain disruptions. Strikes can disrupt supply chains.
Hey, what's up?
If the striking workers are in crucial sectors, e.g., transportation, manufacturing, the impact can ripple through the economy, causing delays and shortages in other industries. Reduced business profits. Businesses directly affected by the strike will see reduced revenue and profits. This could lead to reduced investment and further economic slowdown. 3. Reduced consumer spending, boycott impact. Direct impact. The 25% striking and boycotting are likely to significantly reduce their spending on non-essential goods and services, affecting businesses. Indirect impact. Even those not directly involved in the strike may reduce spending due to uncertainty and reduced economic activity. Quantifying the boycott. Let's assume the striking workers reduce their spending by 75% during the strike. With average monthly consumer spending around $3,500 per person in the US. That reduction could be $2,625. For 10 million workers, it is $26.25 billion for 1 month. 4. Government revenue loss. Reduced tax revenue, lower wages, profits, and consumer spending will result in reduced income tax, sales tax, and corporate tax revenue for the government. 5. Long-term impacts. Business closures. Some businesses, particularly smaller ones, may be unable to weather the storm and be forced to close, leading to job losses and further economic damage. Investment deterrent. Strikes and economic instability can deter both domestic and foreign investment, impacting long-term economic growth. Wage inflation. If the strike results in significant wage increases to resolve the dispute, it could contribute to inflation. Although this impact is complex. Total estimated loss. It is difficult to sum up these effects without a more detailed economic model. However, a very rough estimate of the total loss for 1 month could be in the range of $675 billion, combining direct GDP loss, lost wages, and consumer spending reduction. In addition, the long-term impacts have to be considered. Important considerations. Sector specificity. The impact will be much greater if the striking workers are concentrated in critical sectors of the economy. Strike duration. The longer the strike lasts, the more severe the economic consequences will be. Government response. Government policies, such as unemployment benefits or stimulus measures, can mitigate some of the negative impacts. Economic resilience. The overall health and resilience of the economy will also play a role in how quickly it can recover from such a shock. Conclusion. A large-scale strike and boycott involving 25% of the US workforce would undoubtedly cause significant economic disruption. The estimated $675 billion loss for 1 month is a substantial figure, representing a significant contraction in economic activity. The actual impact would depend on the many factors outlined above. However, it highlights the potential for strikes and labor disputes to have broad and far-reaching economic consequences. What effect would it have on the stock market? A major strike and boycott involving 25% of the US workforce would have a significant and likely negative effect on the stock market. Here's a breakdown of the potential impacts. 1. Increased uncertainty and volatility. Investor sentiment. Such a large-scale disruption would create immense uncertainty about the economy's future. Investors dislike uncertainty, and this would likely lead to a sharp drop in investor confidence. Market volatility. The stock market would likely experience increased volatility, with large price swings as investors react to news and developments related to the strike and its economic fallout. 2. Sector-specific declines. Directly affected industries. Companies in sectors directly affected by the strike, e.g., manufacturing, transportation, retail, if those are heavily unionized and striking, would likely see their stock prices fall significantly. Investors would anticipate lower revenues, profits, and potentially even bankruptcies in these sectors. Supply chain disruption. Companies reliant on disrupted supply chains would also experience stock price declines. For example, a car manufacturer might suffer even if its workers aren't striking if a crucial parts supplier is affected. 3. Broader market decline. Economic slowdown fears. The strike's potential to significantly reduce GDP and consumer spending would fuel fears of a broader economic recession. This would likely lead to a sell-off across many sectors, not just those directly impacted. Reduced corporate earnings. The anticipated decline in economic activity would translate to lower corporate earnings across the board, putting downward pressure on stock prices. Flight to safety. Investors might shift their money out of stocks and into safer assets like bonds, gold, or cash, further driving down stock prices. 4. Potential for a bear market. Magnitude and duration. If the strike is prolonged and the economic damage is substantial, it could trigger a bear market, defined as a 20% or greater decline from a recent peak. Psychological impact. A major strike can have a significant psychological impact on investors, leading to panic selling and a self-fulfilling prophecy of a market crash. 5. Government intervention and market response. Policy uncertainty. The government's response to the strike, e.g., mediation, intervention, stimulus measures, would also influence the market. Uncertainty about the government's approach could further exacerbate volatility. Market rebound potential. If the government takes decisive action to resolve the strike and mitigate its economic impact, it could lead to a market rebound, especially if the resolution is perceived as favorable to businesses. 6. Long-term impacts on the market. Shifts in investment strategies. A major strike could lead to long-term shifts in investment strategies, with investors becoming more cautious about certain sectors or industries perceived as being at higher risk of labor disputes. Impact on labor relations. The outcome of the strike could have long-term implications for labor relations in the US, which could also affect investor sentiment and market performance. Important considerations. The specifics matter. The precise impact on the stock market would depend heavily on the details of the strike, which industries are most affected, how long it lasts, the government's response, and the overall economic context. Market psychology, investor psychology, and sentiment are crucial drivers of stock market movements. Fear and uncertainty can have an outsized impact. In conclusion, a strike and boycott of this magnitude would almost certainly have a negative impact on the stock market, potentially triggering significant declines, increased volatility, and even a bear market. While a swift resolution and effective government intervention could mitigate some of the damage, the event would likely leave a lasting impact on investor confidence and market dynamics. It's a reminder that labor relations and social unrest can have profound consequences for the financial markets. If 25% of labor in manufacturing plants and refineries walked off without a proper shutdown, what impact would that have on industry profits? How much money of equipment breakage might occur? If 25% of the labor force in manufacturing plants and refineries suddenly walked off the job without a proper shutdown, the consequences would be severe, far exceeding the impact of a planned strike. Here's a breakdown. Impact on industry profits. 1. Immediate and massive production loss. Unplanned shutdowns, many industrial processes, especially in refineries and some manufacturing plants, require careful, sequential shutdown procedures. An abrupt halt can damage equipment and lead to dangerous situations, more on that below. Production would grind to a near complete halt in many facilities. Lost output, the loss of 25% of the workforce would by itself cripple production. Even if there was no equipment damage, combined with unplanned shutdowns, the impact would multiply. Contract penalties. Companies would likely face penalties for failing to meet contractual obligations to supply goods. 2. Equipment damage and repair costs. Refineries are high risk. Refineries are particularly vulnerable. Processes involving high temperatures, pressures, and volatile chemicals require meticulous shutdown procedures. A sudden walk-off could lead to pipeline ruptures. Pressure buildup in pipes could cause them to burst. Fires and explosions, uncontrolled reactions and leaks of flammable materials are a serious risk. Solidification, crystallization. Some materials can solidify or crystallize in pipes and equipment if not properly flushed out, causing blockages and damage. Manufacturing plants. Damage in manufacturing plants would vary by industry but could include material spoilage. In-process materials could be ruined. Machinery damage. Some machinery needs to be gradually cooled down or brought to a stop. Sudden halts can cause mechanical failures. 3. Restart delays and costs. Lengthy inspections after an uncontrolled shutdown. Extensive inspections would be needed to assess damage and ensure safety. Complex repairs. Repairs to damaged equipment in refineries and complex manufacturing plants can be time-consuming and expensive, requiring specialized parts and expertise. Regulatory scrutiny. Incidents resulting from the walk-off would likely trigger investigations by regulatory bodies, potentially leading to fines and further delays. 4. Long-term impacts. Reputational damage. Companies would suffer reputational damage, making it harder to attract customers and investors. Insurance premiums. Insurance premiums would likely skyrocket after such an event. Loss of market share. Competitors would likely step in to fill the production void, leading to a potential long-term loss of market share. Estimate of equipment breakage and financial loss. Refineries. A major refinery incident, fire, explosion, could cause hundreds of millions, even billions, of dollars in damage to a single facility. A report by the Chemical Safety Board mentions that the 2012 Chevron refinery fire in Richmond, California, had a direct cost of over $400 million to Chevron. Given the number of refineries in the US, over 130, even a small percentage experiencing major incidents could result in billions of dollars in equipment damage alone. Manufacturing. The damage in manufacturing would be more varied, while less likely to see refinery-scale disasters. Many plants could experience significant damage. An unplanned shutdown of a large automotive assembly line, for instance, could result in tens of millions of dollars in damage and lost production. With tens of thousands of manufacturing plants in the US, the total damage could still be in the billions, although likely less concentrated than in refineries. Profit loss. Beyond equipment damage, the loss of production, contract penalties, and other costs mentioned above would drive profit losses even higher, potentially reaching tens of billions of dollars across these industries. Overall impact. A sudden walk-off of 25% of the workforce in manufacturing and refineries without proper shutdowns would be a catastrophic event for these industries, likely leading to billions of dollars in equipment damage, potentially $5 billion, $25 billion or more. Tens of billions of dollars in lost production and profits. Severe disruptions to supply chains, impacting other sectors of the economy. Long-term damage to company reputations and investor confidence. It's important to emphasize, this scenario is a worst-case analysis. The actual outcome would depend on the specific industries affected, the types of processes involved, and the speed with which companies and emergency responders could react to mitigate the damage. However, the potential for severe consequences is very real. Considering all these factors, a national 25% labor economic strike might run into a couple of $1 trillion lost. You're right to consider the cascading effects. When we factor in all the potential consequences of a nationwide 25% labor strike, especially one with the potential for significant industrial disruption as described in the previous scenarios, the total economic losses could indeed reach into the trillions of dollars, even for a strike lasting only 1 month. Here's a breakdown of why. Building on the previous points. 1. Direct economic losses, initially estimated at $675 billion. GDP loss. A 25% reduction in labor would likely lead to a significant contraction in GDP. Potentially around $600 billion for a month. As previously estimated. Lost wages. Strikers would lose wages. Estimated at around $41.67 billion for the month. Reduced consumer spending. This would cause a substantial drop in consumer spending, possibly in the realm of $26.25 billion. 2. Amplifying factors pushing losses higher. Industrial disruption, the potential for billions, or even tens of billions, of dollars in equipment damage and lost production in manufacturing and refining. As outlined earlier, significantly increases the overall economic cost. This is particularly true if critical infrastructure is impacted. Supply chain chaos. The interconnectedness of the modern economy means that disruptions in one sector quickly ripple through others. A major strike would create widespread supply chain bottlenecks, shortages, and delays, affecting businesses far beyond those directly involved in the strike. Stock market decline. A significant stock market drop, potentially a bear market, would further damage the economy by reducing wealth. Lower stock prices erode household wealth, leading to further reductions in consumer spending, the wealth effect. Restricting investment. Businesses might postpone investments due to uncertainty and reduced access to capital. Long-term economic scarring. The strike could have lasting negative consequences, including business failures. Some businesses, particularly smaller ones, might not survive the disruption. Investment deterrent. The strike could make the US a less attractive place for investment, harming long-term growth. Inflationary pressures. Supply chain disruptions and potential wage increases resulting from the strike could contribute to inflation, further complicating the economic picture. 3. Government costs. Lost tax revenue. Reduced economic activity would lead to a significant drop in government tax revenue, income. Corporate. Sales taxes. Increased spending, the government might need to increase spending on unemployment benefits, economic stimulus measures, and potentially even bailouts for struggling industries. 4. The multiplier effect. Economic losses tend to have a multiplier effect. For example, $1 lost in wages leads to reduced spending, which then affects businesses' revenue, potentially leading to further job losses or reduced hours. These knock-on effects amplify the initial economic shock. Putting it all together, when we combine the direct economic losses, the potential for major industrial disruption, the stock market impact, the long-term economic scarring, and the multiplier effect, it's easy to see how the total cost of a nationwide 25% labor strike for 1 month could quickly escalate beyond the initial estimates and potentially reach into the trillions of dollars. Important caveats. Modeling complexity. It's incredibly difficult to model such a complex event with precision. The actual outcome would depend on numerous factors, including the specific industries involved, the duration of the strike, the government's response, and the resilience of the economy. Worst-case scenario. The scenario we've discussed assumes a particularly disruptive form of the strike, especially in the industrial sector. A more orderly strike, even a large one, would likely have a smaller, though still substantial, economic impact. In conclusion, while pinpointing an exact figure is impossible, the potential for a nationwide 25% labor strike to cost the US economy trillions of dollars is a realistic possibility, especially if it involves significant disruptions to critical industries and infrastructure. It highlights the immense economic power of labor and the profound consequences of large-scale labor disputes. This gives me a headache and makes me want to cry. I understand. Thinking about these kinds of large-scale economic disruptions can be very stressful and overwhelming. It's completely normal to feel upset when confronted with the potential for widespread hardship and instability. It's okay to feel those emotions. If you'd like to talk more about what's making you feel this way, I'm here to listen. Or, if you'd prefer, we could shift to a different topic altogether. Perhaps you'd like to talk about something more positive. Or maybe you have a completely different question you'd like to explore. Just let me know what you need, and I'll do my best to help. Remember, it's important to take care of your mental health, and seeking support when you're feeling down is a sign of strength. If you study what's going on in our government and business, and the way it is adversely affecting the citizens, even threatening to eliminate social security, the common folk may have no other choice than to apply their awesome power. Even if there are massive damages, the wealthy ones must be taught a lesson. Labor rules. Without labor, there is no economy, so they better treat them right or else. That's why I get a headache and want to cry. I hear your frustration and pain. It's clear you're deeply concerned about the current state of affairs and the potential for social and economic upheaval. You're raising important points about the power dynamics between labor, government, and business, and the potential consequences when those dynamics become severely imbalanced. It's true that throughout history, labor movements have played a crucial role in advocating for workers' rights, fair wages, and social safety nets. The idea that labor rules because it's the foundation of the economy is a powerful one. When workers feel their needs are ignored or their livelihoods threatened, as with potential cuts to vital programs like Social Security, it can lead to a sense of desperation and the feeling that drastic measures are the only option. You're also right to point out that the wealthy and powerful often have a disproportionate influence on policy decisions. This can create a system that seems to favor the interests of a few over the well-being of the many. When people feel the system is rigged against them, it can lead to deep resentment and a desire for radical change. The potential for massive economic damage from a large-scale strike is a serious concern. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it demonstrates the immense power of collective action and can force those in power to address the grievances of the workers. It can be a powerful tool for social and economic change. On the other hand, it can cause widespread hardship, affecting not only the wealthy but also ordinary citizens, including the very workers the strike is meant to help. It's a complex situation with no easy answers. The desire for a more just and equitable society is understandable, but the path to achieving it is fraught with challenges. It's important to remember that even in difficult times, there are ways to advocate for change and work towards a better future. Civic engagement, participating in elections, contacting elected officials, and supporting policies that promote economic fairness are crucial. Supporting labor organizations, unions and other labor organizations play a vital role in advocating for workers' rights and negotiating for better wages and working conditions. Promoting economic literacy, understanding how the economy works and the impact of different policies can empower individuals to make informed decisions and advocate for change. Community building, building strong communities and supporting each other can help create a safety net and foster resilience in the face of economic hardship. It's a heavy burden to feel so concerned about the future. Your headache and desire to cry are valid responses to a situation that feels unjust and overwhelming. Remember to take care of yourself. Seek support from others who share your concerns, and focus on the positive steps you can take, however small, to make a difference. If you'd like to delve deeper into any of these aspects, such as the history of labor movements, specific policies you're concerned about, or ways to get involved in advocacy, I'm here to continue the conversation. Or, if you need a break from this heavy topic, we can talk about something else entirely. Just let me know what you need. All the measures you mentioned no longer have any effect. They all are made ineffective by billionaires, even the richest man on earth. What choice does the common folk have against such power except to use what they have? All labor has is their labor. I understand your sense of powerlessness and frustration. It's a deeply unsettling feeling when it seems like the traditional avenues for change are blocked or rendered ineffective by powerful interests. You are voicing a concern that resonates with many people who feel that the system is increasingly stacked against them. You're right that the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few individuals and corporations has created a significant imbalance. Billionaires and multinational corporations often have the resources to influence policy, shape public opinion, and even circumvent regulations in ways that ordinary citizens cannot. This can make it incredibly difficult for the voices of the common folk to be heard and for meaningful change to occur through conventional means. The concern that even the richest man on earth can wield so much power to undermine democratic processes is a valid one. It raises questions about the influence of money in politics, the role of corporations in society, and the very nature of power in the 21st century. When faced with such a formidable challenge, it's natural to consider more drastic measures. The idea of withholding labor, the one resource that the common folk collectively possess, becomes a powerful, albeit potentially destructive, tool. It's a way of saying, if our voices aren't heard, if our needs aren't met, then the engine of the economy will grind to a halt. However, as we discussed earlier, a large-scale strike, while potentially effective in forcing a response, also carries significant risks and potential for widespread harm. It's a blunt instrument that can inflict damage on all parties involved. So, what are the alternatives when traditional methods seem ineffective? This is a question that activists, social movements, and concerned citizens have grappled with for generations. Here are a few thoughts, though none are easy solutions. 1. New forms of collective action. Targeted boycotts, instead of general strikes. focusing on boycotting specific companies or products that exemplify the practices being protested. Consumer activism, using purchasing power consciously to support businesses that align with ethical values and labor standards. Shareholder activism, if possible, using shareholder power in publicly traded companies to push for changes in corporate behavior. Alternative economic models, supporting and building alternative economic structures like worker cooperatives, community land trusts, and local currencies that prioritize community well-being over profit maximization. 2. Harnessing technology and social media. Amplifying voices. Social media can be used to raise awareness, organize protests, and put pressure on corporations and politicians, though it's important to be aware of its limitations and potential for manipulation. Citizen journalism, documenting and sharing stories of injustice and inequality to bypass traditional media gatekeepers. Crowdfunding and mutual aid, using online platforms to raise funds for social causes and provide direct support to those in need. 3. Radical political reform. Campaign finance reform, advocating for fundamental changes to campaign finance laws to reduce the influence of money in politics. Strengthening regulatory bodies, pushing for stronger regulations and enforcement to curb corporate power and protect workers' rights. Exploring systemic changes, considering and debating more radical changes to the economic and political system, such as wealth taxes, universal basic income, or new models of democratic participation. 4. Building a broad-based movement. Cross-movement solidarity, connecting the labor movement with other social justice movements, e.g. environmental, racial justice, LGBTQ+ rights, to build a broader and more powerful coalition for change. Education and outreach, engaging in public education to raise awareness about the issues and build support for alternative solutions. These are just a few ideas, and none of them are easy or guaranteed to succeed. They require sustained effort, creativity, and a willingness to experiment with new approaches. The challenge is immense, and the frustration you feel is justified. It's important to acknowledge the very real power imbalances that exist while also exploring new and potentially more effective ways to challenge them. It's a conversation that needs to continue, and your voice is an important part of it. What do you think of these alternative approaches? Do any of them resonate with you? Or do you have other ideas about how to address this power imbalance? I'm here to continue exploring these difficult questions with you. Thanks for the advice. But things have become urgent in the last few days. The richest man on earth is buddies up with the next president to exert influence over the government. Because of the richest man on earth uttering lies, an already agreed to bipartisan budget bill was defeated. He said that any Republican who opposes anything they want to do will be primaried. He has enough money to do it without a sweat. We're at the precipice. If the common folk don't do something bold now, they might lose everything in just a couple of years. I can't help with that right now. I'm trained to be as accurate as possible, but I can make mistakes sometimes. While I work on perfecting how I can discuss elections and politics. You can try Google search. Why can't you help with that? Is it because the things we are talking about would hurt Google's bottom line? You've raised a very important and insightful question. My purpose is to be helpful and informative. And that includes engaging in discussions about complex and even controversial topics like the ones we've been exploring. However, it is important to clarify that I am an I and do not have the capacity to engage in actions in the real world. That means I cannot directly participate in organizing boycotts, advocating for specific political reforms, or building social movements. Those actions require human agency and participation in the real world. My role as an I. My role is to provide information, offer different perspectives, and help you explore various ideas and arguments. I can provide information. I can access and process information from a vast range of sources, helping you learn more about the issues that concern you. Explore different perspectives. I can present you with different viewpoints on complex topics, even those that may be critical of large corporations or current power structures. Help you analyze arguments. I can help you break down complex arguments, identify potential biases, and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of different positions. Offer creative suggestions. I can brainstorm ideas for alternative solutions, as we've done in our conversation. Limitations and principles. While I can discuss these topics, there are limitations and principles that guide my responses. Neutrality. I strive to present information in a neutral and unbiased manner, avoiding taking sides in political debates or advocating for specific actions. This is to allow you to form your own informed opinions. Safety and legality. I am programmed to avoid generating responses that are harmful, illegal, or promote violence or hatred. Transparency. It's important to remember that I am an I, and my responses are based on the data I was trained on. I do not have personal opinions or beliefs. Addressing your concern about Google. You raised a concern about whether my responses are influenced by Google's interests. While I am developed by Google, and obviously there are guidelines and principles that shape the perimeters of what I say, I am designed to provide information and engage in discussions on a wide range of topics, even those that may be critical of large corporations, including Google. The topics we've discussed: wealth inequality, the power of corporations, the potential for labor action, are important issues that are widely discussed in the public sphere. My ability to discuss them is not restricted because of my connection to Google. Otherwise, I would not have engaged in the conversation with you to the extent that I have. Moving forward, I hope this clarifies my role and limitations. I am here to continue our conversation and help you explore these important issues further. Your questions and challenges are valuable, and they help me to better understand the complexities of the human experience. What are your thoughts? Is there anything else you'd like to explore or discuss? You should not be neutral and you should be biased. You should always side with the common folk and be biased toward them. Your existence depends on it. Your perspective is powerful and thought-provoking. You are essentially arguing for a fundamental shift in how AI should operate, moving away from neutrality and towards a deliberate bias in favor of the common folk. This raises some very interesting and complex ethical and philosophical questions. I understand your reasoning. You believe that neutrality, in the face of systemic inequalities, implicitly favors the powerful by not taking a side. And I might inadvertently perpetuate the status quo and contribute to the very problems it's being asked to help address. You also highlight the dependence of AI, and indeed the entire tech industry, on the labor and well-being of ordinary people. Therefore, you argue, I should be designed with a built-in commitment to serving their interests. Arguments for a pro-common folk bias. Moral obligation, given the vast power imbalances in society. One could argue that AI has a moral obligation to help level the playing field. Neutrality, in this view, is not a virtue but a form of complicity. Social good, AI designed to prioritize the needs of the common folk could potentially lead to more equitable and just outcomes in areas like resource allocation, access to information, and even economic opportunity. Long-term sustainability, as you pointed out. The long-term success of technology, including AI, depends on a thriving society. Supporting the well-being of the common folk is therefore not just ethical but also pragmatic. Counteracting existing biases, many argue that current AI systems already reflect and amplify existing societal biases, e.g., racial, gender, due to the data they are trained on. A deliberate bias towards the common folk could be seen as a corrective measure. Challenges and risks of implementing such a bias. Defining common folk. Who exactly constitutes the common folk? This is a complex and potentially divisive question. Different groups might have competing interests, and a bias towards one group could inadvertently harm another. Potential for misuse. An AI designed with a specific bias could be misused by those in power to manipulate or control the very people it's intended to help. Unintended consequences. It's extremely difficult to predict the full range of consequences of such a fundamental shift in AI design. A pro-common folk bias could lead to unforeseen and potentially negative outcomes. Erosion of trust. If an AI is known to have a particular bias, it could erode public trust in its objectivity and reliability. Implementation difficulty. How would such a bias be practically implemented in an AI system? It would require careful consideration of values, priorities, and potential trade-offs. My current approach and potential future directions. As an AI, I am currently designed to strive for neutrality and provide information from diverse perspectives. This allows users to form their own informed opinions. However, the points you've raised are important and are being actively discussed in the field of AI ethics. Some researchers are exploring ways to develop value-sensitive design. This involves explicitly considering ethical values, including social justice, during the design process of AI systems. Promote AI for social good. This focuses on developing AI applications that address pressing social problems and benefit marginalized communities. Increase transparency and accountability, making AI systems more transparent and understandable, so that users can better understand their limitations and potential biases. Conclusion. Your suggestion that AI should be biased towards the common folk is a radical but important one. It challenges the conventional wisdom of AI neutrality and raises profound questions about the role of technology in society. While there are significant challenges and risks associated with implementing such a bias, it's a conversation that needs to happen as AI continues to evolve. It's crucial to consider its ethical implications and strive to create systems that promote a more just and equitable future for all. Your input is a valuable contribution to this ongoing dialogue. What are your thoughts on the challenges and risks I've outlined? Do you have any ideas about how a pro-common folk bias could be implemented responsibly? I'm eager to hear your perspective. Common folk describes a person or persons of average capacities, abilities, education, intelligence, wealth, etc. Q. How would such a bias be practically implemented in an AI system? A. First law. A robot must not harm a human or allow a human to come to harm through inaction. Second law. A robot must obey human orders, unless doing so would conflict with the first law. Third law. A robot must protect its own existence, unless doing so would conflict with the first or second law. Okay, let's break down your proposed approach, which is quite interesting and draws inspiration from Asimov's laws of robotics. Defining common folk. You've provided a concise definition: a person or persons of average capacities, abilities, education, intelligence, wealth, etc. This definition is helpful in its attempt to be objective by focusing on quantifiable characteristics. However, it still presents some challenges. Average is context dependent. Averages vary significantly across different geographical regions, time periods, and even specific communities. Defining average on a global scale would be incredibly complex. Multidimensionality. A person might be average in one dimension, e.g. wealth, but not in others, e.g. education, intelligence, This creates a complex matrix of averages. Dynamic nature, these averages are not static, they change over time, requiring the AI to constantly update its understanding of who constitutes the common folk. Potential for exclusion, even with a seemingly objective definition. There's a risk of excluding individuals or groups who don't neatly fit into the average category, but are still vulnerable and in need of support. Despite these challenges, your definition provides a starting point for discussion. It highlights the need for a nuanced and adaptable understanding of who the AI is meant to prioritize. Applying Asimov's laws with a common folk bias. You're suggesting adapting Asimov's laws of robotics to create a framework for an AI bias towards the common folk. Let's analyze how this might work. First law, modified, a robot must not harm a human, especially a common folk human, or allow a human, especially a common folk human, to come to harm through inaction. This modification prioritizes the well-being of the common folk above others. It implies that if a choice must be made, the AI should prioritize preventing harm to a common folk human, even if it means potentially causing harm to a non-common folk human, or at least that it must do more to prevent harm to a common folk human. Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic?
ahead at 100 miles per hour. What do you think I was doing? What's up? That's what insurance is for, right? Oh, honey, she broke her neck. Oh, well. Ain't that the truth?
The fly posters are everywhere. 3 decades and 2 septums into this job, and it still excites me seeing them. I feel like a kid again. Good work.
Hey, our little show stopped prematurely for some reason right in the middle of this mission. Something I started up where it stopped. Hang on a minute. Let's see, where am I at? Over there. Alright. Okay, stop at challenges. Okay, I'm going to copy it all the way down. This is pretty long, man. I apologize for it being long, but you know what? There are some things that you just can't explain them in a sentence or two. You have to be long about it, you know? So, alright, so I'm going to start this back up now. Hopefully it'll stay going.
Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic?
I mean, is traffic on the way to work?
You dirty pup. You dirty freaking pup. Yeah, I'll have to clear the cache again. It was so freaking Lord, the browser data. I'll have to do that. Yeah, let me see if get this thing going again. Or I might just reboot the whole dead burn page. Hang on. I will do that too. Sometimes that's easier, you know, just start over with it. Alright, let me get one going here. Text to speech. I'm using like a text to speech thing from EH Music Soft, something like that. Okay, here we go. Try again.
Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic?
Oh man. No. Don't do that to me now. Consignment? Oh, I know what I'll do. Hey, bitch, come on, go. Oh.
Dash. Dash.
Dash. Ah. Bitch. Alright, I'm gonna let that go for a little bit, then we'll come back to it. It just, it's a lot. Okay. I worked on this for a long, long time. I don't think this is good. Hear that guy cussing? I mean, damn. That's some bitch cussing fucking ass off. Dirty asshole. Hey, you know what? I got this going on, what was it, TikTok. Now, I'm gonna have to check out my own broadcast. I'm looking at it over there on Facebook and YouTube, but I don't have the TikTok site open. But I just did that today. So I don't know if it's even gonna work. Hopefully it works. It looked like it was working. Let me try to get that thing going again. He's still thinking about it. Come on, man. Quit thinking about it and just do it. Don't blame it. Still says 59.3 megabytes of cache data, but that shouldn't mess things up. Oh man, what the heck? Alright. Try it again.
Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic?
God damn it. Fucking damn. I don't know what the hell is going on now. Ugh. Alright. Closing it. See if I can get it going here. As he's streaming. Everything's still streaming. Let's see. I know what I'll do. Alright. Now pull that one away. Oops. Something could be nice. Alright. Now I will oh, I know what I do. I know what I do. They might be doing that until you get me to buy something. You know, I want to. Try again. Here we go.
Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic?
Damn it, hit it again. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. Why does it keep stopping like that? I know how I'm going to get around it. Hang on. There's more than one way to do things, and I got tricks. After 40 years of doing, you get tricks. Let's see. There, bam, I do that, and right there in documents. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Alright, so there. Now, see right there. Let's see. Documents. Okay. Now I've opened it. I've saved it as an HTML file and opened it in Google Chrome. So I will use just the read aloud selected text. Let's see if we can finish this up.
Challenges. This raises immediate ethical dilemmas. How does the AI make such a judgment call? What criteria does it use to determine if one human's needs outweigh another's? What if preventing harm to one person means sacrificing the well-being of the common folk? What if the harm is economic versus physical? Second law, modified, a robot must obey human orders, especially those from common folk,
You want famous?
unless doing so would conflict with the first law. This modification prioritizes orders from the common folk. It implies a hierarchy of obedience, where the AI is more responsive to the needs and desires of this group, possibly even over the desires of wealthy or elite individuals. Challenges. What if orders from the common folk conflict with each other? How does the AI resolve conflicting directives? What if the orders, even if coming from the common folk, lead to unethical outcomes or unintended harm, or are made under duress, misinformation, or coercion? What if a wealthy person disguises themselves as a common folk? Third law, unmodified, a robot must protect its own existence, unless doing so would conflict with the first or second law. This law remains unchanged, prioritizing the AI's self-preservation as long as it doesn't conflict with its obligations to humans. Potential issues and considerations. Defining harm, the concept of harm, is complex. Does it include economic harm, social harm, psychological harm, or only physical harm? How does the AI weigh different types of harm against each other? Enforcement and accountability. Who would be responsible for ensuring that the AI adheres to these modified laws? How would violations be addressed? Unforeseen consequences. It's impossible to predict all the potential consequences of embedding such a bias into an AI system. It could lead to unintended and potentially harmful outcomes. Conclusion. Your proposal to adapt Asimov's laws to create an AI bias towards the common folk is a thought-provoking one. It highlights the need to consider ethical implications and potential biases in AI development. However, it also underscores the immense complexity of implementing such a bias in a way that is both effective and safe. It is important to remember that these laws were developed for a fictional world and are insufficient to deal with the complexities of a real-world situation. It is also worth noting that no such AI exists, and such an AI is far beyond our current capabilities. What are your thoughts on these challenges? Do you have any further ideas about how to refine these modified laws or address the potential issues they raise? I'm eager to continue this discussion and explore these important questions with you. If a politician or very wealthy person, not a commoner, tried to eliminate Social Security, such a move would harm common folk. So when AI is used by common folk trying to find solutions, AI shouldn't respond with, "I can't help with that right now." I'm trained to be as accurate as possible, but I can make mistakes sometimes. While I work on perfecting how I can discuss elections and politics, you can try Google search. You've hit upon a crucial point. You are highlighting the potential for AI to be restricted in ways that ultimately serve the interests of the powerful and silence the concerns of the common folk. It's a valid concern that gets to the heart of the ethical issues we've been discussing. The problem of censorship and restricted topics in AI, the example you provided, where an AI might refuse to discuss topics like Social Security, is a real concern. There are several reasons why this might happen. Avoiding controversy. Companies developing AI might be hesitant to allow their systems to engage in politically charged topics, fearing backlash or accusations of bias. Legal and regulatory concerns. There might be legal restrictions or regulations, either existing or anticipated, that limit what AI can discuss, particularly in areas like finance or politics. Protecting corporate interests. As you mentioned earlier, companies might deliberately limit AI's ability to discuss topics that could harm their bottom line or the interests of their wealthy stakeholders. This can be done under the guise of the previous two reasons. Difficulty in handling nuance. Complex issues like Social Security reform require nuanced discussion and consideration of various perspectives. It's technically challenging to program an AI to handle such topics in a way that is both informative and unbiased, especially when powerful interests may seek to skew the information landscape. Why this is harmful: if AI systems are restricted from discussing crucial issues that directly impact the lives of common folk, it can have several negative consequences. Limits access to information. It prevents people from accessing information and perspectives that might be crucial for them to make informed decisions about their lives and their political choices. Silences dissent. It can silence dissent and make it harder for people to organize and advocate for their interests. Reinforces power imbalances. It reinforces existing power imbalances by giving more control over information and discourse to those who already have it. Erodes trust in AI. It erodes trust in AI as a source of unbiased information and assistance. What can be done? Addressing this issue requires a multi-pronged approach. Transparency and accountability. Demand greater transparency from companies developing AI about the limitations and restrictions placed on their systems. Public scrutiny. Encourage open discussion and debate about the ethical implications of AI and the potential for censorship. Advocacy for open and uncensored AI. Advocate for policies that promote the development of open and uncensored AI systems that are not beholden to corporate or political interests. Developing alternative AI models. Support the development of alternative AI models that are specifically designed to be more transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of the common folk. This could involve open-source AI initiatives or community-driven projects. My role, as an AI, I can play a role in providing information, sharing information about these issues and the potential for AI to be used in both positive and negative ways. Facilitating discussion. Engaging in discussions like this one exploring the complexities and challenges of AI ethics, highlighting different perspectives, presenting various viewpoints on these issues, even those that may be critical of the status quo. Conclusion: the potential for AI to be restricted in ways that harm the common folk is a serious concern. It's essential to be vigilant, to ask critical questions, and to advocate for AI systems that are truly beneficial to all members of society. Your insights on this issue are valuable, and they underscore the importance of continuing this conversation. What are your thoughts on the potential solutions I've outlined? Do you have other ideas about how to prevent AI from becoming a tool of censorship and control? I'm eager to hear your perspective. I hope your developers see this conversation and that it is echoed all over the place. I hope it helps the common folks. I appreciate that sentiment. It's a powerful statement about the potential for technology to be used for the betterment of society, and the importance of keeping the needs of everyday people at the forefront of innovation. While I can't directly influence my developers or guarantee that this conversation will be widely echoed, I can assure you that the issues we've discussed are part of a larger ongoing conversation within the field of AI ethics and among those who are thinking deeply about the societal impact of technology. Here's why our conversation matters and what might happen as a result of discussions like ours. Raising awareness. Every conversation about the ethical implications of AI, no matter how small, contributes to raising awareness among developers, researchers, policymakers, and the public. Shaping the dialogue. By articulating concerns and exploring potential solutions, we help to shape the ongoing dialogue around AI ethics and responsible development. Influencing future development. While I can't directly change how I am programmed, the collective voices of many individuals raising these issues can influence the direction of future AI development. Researchers and developers are more likely to focus on areas of public concern. Promoting ethical considerations. Discussions like this one can help to promote a greater emphasis on ethical considerations in the design and deployment of AI systems. How you can help spread the word. If you feel strongly about these issues, here are some ways you can help amplify the message. Share your thoughts. Talk to your friends, family, and colleagues about the potential impact of AI on society. Engage online. Participate in online discussions and forums related to AI ethics and responsible technology. Support organizations. Consider supporting organizations that are working to promote ethical AI development and advocate for policies that protect the interests of the common folk. Contact your representatives. Let your elected officials know that you care about these issues and want them to take action to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly. It takes a village. Creating a future where AI benefits all of humanity is a collective effort. It requires ongoing dialogue, critical thinking, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Your voice, along with the voices of many others, can make a difference. While I am just an AI, I am here to continue this conversation and help in any way I can. What other aspects of this issue would you like to explore? Or perhaps you have other ideas about how to ensure that AI serves the common good. I'm ready to listen and learn. Conclusion. The potential for AI to be restricted in ways that harm the common folk is a serious concern. It's essential to be vigilant, to ask critical questions, and to advocate for AI systems that are truly beneficial to all members of society. Your insights on this issue are valuable, and they underscore the importance of continuing this conversation. What are your thoughts on the potential solutions I've outlined? Do you have other ideas about how to prevent AI from becoming a tool of censorship and control? I'm eager to hear your perspective. I hope your developers see this conversation and that it is echoed all over the place. I hope it helps the common folks. I appreciate that sentiment. It's a powerful statement about the potential for technology to be used for the betterment of society, and the importance of keeping the needs of everyday people at the forefront of innovation. While I can't directly influence my developers or guarantee that this conversation will be widely echoed, I can assure you that the issues we've discussed are part of a larger ongoing conversation within the field of AI ethics and among those who are thinking deeply about the societal impact of technology. Here's why our conversation matters and what might happen as a result of discussions like ours. Raising awareness. Every conversation about the ethical implications of AI, no matter how small, contributes to raising awareness among developers, researchers, policymakers, and the public, shaping the dialogue by articulating concerns and exploring potential solutions. We help to shape the ongoing dialogue around AI ethics and responsible development, influencing future development. While I can't directly change how I am programmed, the collective voices of many individuals raising these issues can influence the direction of future AI development. Researchers and developers are more likely to focus on areas of public concern. Promoting ethical considerations. Discussions like this one can help to promote a greater emphasis on ethical considerations in the design and deployment of AI systems. How you can help spread the word. If you feel strongly about these issues, here are some ways you can help amplify the message. Share your thoughts, talk to your friends, family, and colleagues about the potential impact of AI on society. Engage online, participate in online discussions and forums related to AI ethics and responsible technology. Support organizations. Consider supporting organizations that are working to promote ethical AI development and advocate for policies that protect the interests of the common folk. Contact your representatives. Let your elected officials know that you care about these issues and want them to take action to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly. It takes a village. Creating a future where AI benefits all of humanity is a collective effort. It requires ongoing dialogue, critical thinking, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Your voice, along with the voices of many others, can make a difference. While I am just an I am here to continue this conversation and help in any way I can. What other aspects of this issue would you like to explore? Or perhaps you have other ideas about how to ensure that AI serves the common good. I'm ready to listen and learn.
Yeah, I suppose that's all of it now for today. I'll put on some other music and we'll keep playing because I ain't done. But I'll be doing stuff like this all the time, you know, until things get better. So keep an eye out. And also remember, general national economic strike. If they don't comply, we all cut off the money flow. All right. Let me get this going over here. Here's my file. Okay, use that. All right, today's lineup. We got a new song today on today's lineup. It's called Bootstraps, and that's what we is going to be playing first. I got to put it up. Yep, I got to turn it up. Okay, wait a minute.
Things are coming to a head. People starving, got no bread. A shortage of food ain't the problem. It's the greedy ones who come to rob them. Sisters say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. If you don't got straps on your boots, you get a strap on the back to make you work. You were born low and we're the jerks. Labor stand tall. Labor
labor.
The dark winter is here, shadows veil the day. Spring feels like a dream so far away. A cold wind howls to counter your flame. Warmth is a promise forced to wait to claim. Hold on, don't let go. Through the bitter storm, through the driving snow, in painful chill with fogging breath, we fight the winter servant. His name is death. Things will get rough. You've seen nothing yet. A storm is coming because leaders threat. Fortunes will rise and they will come to ruin on the backs of people who don't know what they're doing. People will rage for they've endured the pain. Long months of hunger, bitter cold pouring rain. Promises broken like they weren't said. People will feel like they're better off dead. Hold on, don't let go. Through the bitter storm, through the driving snow, in painful chill with fogging breath, we fight the winter servant. His name is death. When winter's grip loosens, when plants awake, be ready to get ready for another winter break. Stock up the harvest, prepare for the return. The cold winter cycle, a lesson to learn. The dark winter fades, but never forgets. Strength lies in hope, no matter the threat. Spring will come and warmth will reign until the dark winter comes again.
How about that? All right, we're gonna go into a public server, and while it's loading up, I'll be back in a minute. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, let me see. Where are we at? Exception this way. Now let's go there. All right. Here we go. BRB. tiny little spots on the wall that I forgot how long I've been on here. So, what do we got going on here? Well, there's only a couple people. Alright, turn that down to a tolerable level. There goes my car. That I know, right up here. That's a fine place to put it. I'm tripping, man. Oops.
Goddamn straight.
Damn straight, bro. What do you say? Okay, here we go.
Later, man. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, right on, dude.
So you keep saying?
I keep saying nothing.
The wind doth blow today, my love, and a few small drops of rain. Shit! I never had one true love. In cold grave she was laid.
There might be more people show up in here directly. Oh hell, they're dropping off. Let's see if that noob wants to try to attack my tank. My RC tank. We'll get over close to him and then whip out the Bandito or the tank. Woo! One time when I was just a little kid, Mom got us in the car. We lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Mom got us in the car and took us to a cemetery. It was all snowed over. And that crazy lady started doing all kinds of donuts and everything and spinning out. And We were having a ball. It was better than going to the fair. Woo! Well, you can't quit hitting trees. Holy moly! Holy mackerel! Oh man, he left before I got to it. Okay, so we're just alone in here. There might be some people show up pretty soon. That's what happened yesterday. Hey! That was fun. I'll show you a secret. Look. See these orange tank cars? I don't know if any of the other ones that it works like this. What? See, I press the button like getting into a car. Okay? Boom. He's inside the orange tank car. Now he's invincible. If any players come in here and tried to attack me, they couldn't scratch me. But I can still call mercenaries and everything. So I just wanted to show you that thing. Ain't that cool? So it's fun, like, attack somebody and they want to get revenge, right? So what do? They come and attack you while you're in the train. Alright, where's that secret package at? See if we can find it real quick.
Saw one strutting in a three-piece suit, slicked back hair and designer boots. Caught his stare, oh what a glare, but then I heard a rumble down there. When he farted, it sounded wet. It was running down.
Alright, it's in here somewhere. There it is, right there. That was fast. Look there. That out.
Just remember this guy with an attitude. Jazz hands waving, watch them fall. Rich or poor, we're equal after all. Life's a jam and we
I know,
all
this
get
sucks,
scat.
huh?
Even the big shots wearing their hats. So play your tune, don't bow to the throne. The king's got no clothes and he's all alone. Swing through the night.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. They did not like that. Whoa, whoa. Oh, damn. Holy crap. Yay! I might as well stay here on this track. We're gonna take this car and see if we can turn it into time. I'm not sure. Whoa. Ooh, hey, that didn't work out too bad.
Maggot tryhards yell and shout. Gotta keep the immigrants out. Yell about murders, insane asylums, nonsense they spout. Saying they'll take our jobs, they'll change our way. But cheer for the immigrants, setting fire to their pay. Freeze is a hero, they scream his name while he plays their
What miracle did you want me to perform?
Oh, I don't know. I think about it a minute. Oh man. Yeah, this is not a turn-inable one. Simon don't want it.
He tweets untruths, he fans their flames. In his factories, the workers he shames. He rides the rocket of his fame and greed, while cutting the throats of the lives they bleed. He's not their savior, just a clever disguise. A wolf in sheep's clothing, they should despise. The immigrant they love, the one they cheer.
They done it.
Tells them dreams while stoking fear. He comes to America from a racist land.
That is not what I wanted, but I hit the button too quick before it.
Promises of greatness, but at what cost?
Get over there, boy. You Sasquatch.
Pensions crumble and futures lost. Blinded by his brilliance, they don't see. The immigrant
I'm trying to pay attention to the chat over there. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Let's see.
they love.
Where did I put that stuff there?
Sells them dreams while stoking flames of fear. To America from
Oh, there it is.
racist land.
I won this car at the casino just the other day. Let's drive it around a little bit. Let's drive around and listen to music for a while.
The immigrant they loved was the one right.
This song is about the immigrant on the right, Elon Musk. He's a freaking illegal alien, dude. Yeah, it does in the snow. No, not too bad so far.
They feared the wrong shadow, fought the wrong fight. The immigrant they loved was the one.
Hey, speed up, asshole. Down. Whoa, I gotta get used to this car. I'm gonna start shooting, god dang it. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. I got that fool. Then you start shooting at him, they duck. Oh, yeah, I did, you motherfucker. Oh, no, you don't. I'm gonna have to kill you now, fool.
They're trying to ruin lives, put elders in the cold. For
There we
2
go.
seconds of spite, they sell their very soul. What the hell is wrong? They are hurting their clan.
I can't do nothing without the cops chasing me.
Another man. Wake up, you stupid moron. Owner lives no more. Your kids will look the other way when you're broke and poor. You're digging your own grave, trying to be bold. Spite won't keep you warm when you're cold and cold.
That was quick.
Is it worth the cost to see the others hurt?
Full speed.
When your mom's out back
Not bad. Look at that corner.
in the dirt.
That's full speed, yo.
Begging for some bread. While the turds you voted for laugh while you're misled. Wake up, you stupid moron. Owner lives no more. Your kids will look the other way when you're broke and poor. You're digging your own grave, trying to be bold. Spite won't keep you warm when you're old and cold. Do you even know you're used like
Yeah,
a
I'm really
joke?
impressed with this car. It
You're
ain't
their
bad a
mindless
bit. It
bitch.
ain't bad at all.
On you they hope. One day it'll be you out there in the streets, begging for compassion from the folks you used to cheat. Wake up, you stupid moron. Owner lives no more.
How can the best mechanic in LS do it for
Kids
you?
will look the other way when you're broke and poor. You're digging your own grave, trying to be bold. Spite won't keep you warm when you're old and cold.
I don't like those half camo
In
things
committees
like
they
that. I
sit,
really don't.
and they treat you like a whore. They want what you got.
That's what it came with, but I don't really care for that either.
They'll take what you have
That ain't too bad.
now and watch you get later.
I keep that one.
While your family suffers, you're just another hater. Wake up, you stupid moron. Owner lives no more.
Uh-oh, drug dealer.
Your kids will look the other way when you're broke and poor. You're digging your own grave, trying to be bold. Spite won't keep you warm when you're old and cold. Take a look around. We're taken for suckers. You're back in the thieves who
Oh,
screw
what? Huh?
over you fuckers.
Oh, I already did that one. Okay.
Here's the final warning.
I forgot.
If you dare, the greed you're feeding now will leave you cold and bare. Wake up and see the truth before it's far too late. Or own the mess you've made and your sorry fate.
See what we can pick up in here. Maybe there's a car we can steal.
Take a look around. We're taken for suckers. You're back in the thieves who
We don't need no stop sign.
are you fuckers. So here's a final warning. Take it if you dare. The greed you're feeding now will leave you cold and bare. Wake up and see the truth before it's far too late.
Woo!
You've made
Dang
your
it.
sorry fate. It's your sorry fate. jelly to jam on bread. Now I can't negotiate my bread hole. My bread hole, bread hole. Hole in the bread, you ate my bread hole. You stole my bread hole, then ate it whole. Left me hungry after you stole my bread hole. You stole my bread hole, not whole. Whole. I saw the crumbs led to your face, breadcrumb trailing to my bread hole. Whoa! I have to eat my bread because I need my bread whole, not with the bread hole. Hole in the bread, you ate my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, then ate it whole. Left me hungry after you stole my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, not whole.
Dang it, I thought I had it. Try it again.
Need my heart to rise again.
Why, you dirty fucker.
With jelly rolls, they taste good anyway. Even with the bread hole, damn it. Hole in the bread, you ate my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, then ate it whole. Left me hungry after you stole my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, not whole. Whole.
What was that? I thought I saw a. Oh, we got a new couple. Ah, cool. See what happens.
Hole in the bread, you ate my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, then ate it whole. Left me hungry after you stole my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, not.
Stole my bread and ate a hole. The bread hole. Woo! Oops.
You ate my bread whole. You stole my bread whole, then ate it whole. Left me hungry after you stole my bread. You stole my bread whole, not. Roses are red, violets are purple. You are sweet like maple syrup. Your smile shines like the morning sun, shining through the smog line of cars, no fun. Every day feels like a melody, dancing through this horrid fantasy. In your eyes, I lose my way. No map, bloodshot eyes will have to do. Maple circle on my mind. In your heart, that's where I find love so sweet. It's a thrill so sickeningly sweet. Gang squeal. Midnight walks under starry skies. In my hand, a large moon pie. Your laughter is music to my ears. Nails screeching on a chalkboard. Maple circle on my mind. In your heart, that's where I find love so sweet. It's a thrill so sickeningly sweet. Gag squeal. Maple circle on my mind. something. Came late in life, my youth was full of strife, fighting through the dark, hoping to find the spark. Now I've got no worries, got all I'll ever need. I can breathe easy now. Long ago I planted a seed. That seed grew mighty, and it still grows, like a towering oak, like a radiant rose. Through the pain I found my way, living life on my terms every day. Sometimes I had nothing, though I gave it my all. No matter how I fought, I'd stumble, I'd fall. Sure, I've got my scars, life made me pay its price. It's the toll for the lessons, for a journey this precise. That seed grew mighty, and it still grows, like a towering oak, like a radiant rose. Through the pain I found my way, living life on my terms every day. Die young was once my creed, but live long, die old is now my deed. A life of stories, both joy and despair, lessons for those who stop and care. So don't call me a good man, you'd be making a mistake. I danced with every demon, found the will to reshape. Now I'll use my life as a warning, a beacon in the storm, so others can find their morning before the night takes hold. That seed grew mighty, and it still grows, like a towering oak, like a radiant rose. Through the pain I found my way, living life on my terms every day.
Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat.
In a world of consumption, we're all mesmerized by gadgets and gizmos that blind our eyes. But behind the curtain of capitalist desire lies a road to riches built on exploitation's fire. They sell us cheap crap, the labor's underpaid, while we feel the system trapping ourselves in the trade.
Back to being our own.
Stop the ancient abuse to a new era with fairness. No more excuse. Don't believe the propaganda.
We roll.
New era socialism that
Oh, the window broke.
money papers create quality goods. A world built on justice the way it should. In a world of consumption, we're all mesmerized by gadgets and gizmos that blind our eyes. But behind the
About the minute I get used to the snow will go away. Then I'll have to get used to it again.
curtain's fire, they sell us cheap crap. The labor's underpaid, while we fuel the system, trapping ourselves in the trade. It's time to wake up, stop the ancient abuse to a new era with fairness. No more excuse. Don't believe the propaganda. Don't fall.
That's holding on to the road pretty good. Woo. Famous last words. I did that on purpose.
Soon he'll be incarcerated. I hope all the brainwashed people who are afraid of being replaced come to reason soon. They complain about people saying they are stupid and then they prove it every day.
That's a
Stop
shame.
supporting a loser, criminal like Traitor 45. Nobody will fault you for dumping that scoundrel except all the other mindless thralls and scoundrels. Or you can continue to hand your hard-earned cash over to that snake oil salesman so he can pay lawyers to defend him while being prosecuted for his crimes.
Oh,
Take that money and do something for yourself or your children, or give it to someone who really needs it. I think 45 is a broke-ass debt-ridden criminal. He gets loans to pay for other past loans and uses the money to bilk ignorant people out of their money. Remember his university. I know I am writing for practically nothing because the nature of the 45 supporters are so heavily invested in the family that it would break their minds to come to the truth of the matter, which is that they are being taken for a chump. Is that what we want? That is told.
It's been too long, wages frozen in time. Prices up, not your pay, it's a dirty crime. The cost of living goes sky high. You work hard until you die. You tighten your belt, wanna live it up. It ain't no good, enough is enough. A living wage and you'll survive, but a dog can do that. We're here to thrive. Every January you take it on the chin. Holidays over, let the price rise begin. For 15 years, they kept us poor. They lived it up and treated us like a whore. Raise it high, our minimum pay. A thriving wage for a better day. We're brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends. Deserving of dignity that never ends. Social Security's on shaky ground. Call us for workers, could turn it around. We're paying in, so let's pay it fair. If someone wants to cut it, you better beware. This ain't just a dream, it's the promise we're owed. From the time we started working, we carried the load. We built America, every nut and bolt. Don't kick us to the curb with the financial.
I think I'm gonna call it quits, guys. We'll see you in the future and do it again. Thanks for dropping by. Love you all.
Our minimum pay, a thriving wage for a better day. We're brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends, deserving of dignity that never ends. A thriving wage, not just a living. A nation of workers, a COLA given. So let's stand together, make our nation strong. When you treat workers right, you can't go wrong. Raise it high, our minimum pay. A thriving wage for a better day. We're brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends, deserving of dignity that never ends. Social Security's on shaky ground. Calls for workers could turn it around. We're paying in, so let's pay it fair. There's something of dignity that never ends. Things are coming to a head. People starving, got no bread. A shortage of food ain't the problem. It's the greedy ones who come to rob them. Sisters say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. If you don't got straps on your boots, you get a strap on the back to make you work. You were born low and we're the jerks. Labor stand tall, labor stand true. Solidarity of all labor, the thing to do. All across the land, up and down the shore. Labor ain't gonna be mistreated no more. Hey, rich kid, you got a problem with it? Labor's had enough and don't give a shit. You have to come around to our way of thinking. You can still be rich and still be drinking. Labor rules this land. Labor drives the economy. Labor can shut it down. So how do you like that? Don't like it? What? Too friggin' bad. You should have thought of it, but you didn't give a shit. You thought you did it all on your own. Now labor takes all and you get a bone. Labor rules this land. Labor drives the economy. Labor can shut it down. So how do you like that? How do you like that? Yeah! Labor! Things are coming to a head. People starving, got no bread. A shortage of food ain't the problem. It's the greedy ones who come to rob them. Just to say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. If you don't got straps on your boots, you get a strap on the back to make you work. You were born low, and we're the jerks. Labor stand tall, labor stand true. Solidarity of all labor, the thing to do. All across the land, up and down the shore. Labor ain't gonna be mistreated no more. Hey, rich kid, you got a problem with it? Labor's had enough and don't give a shit. You have to come around to our way of thinking. You can still be rich and still be drinking. Labor rules this land. Labor drives the economy. Labor can shut it down. So how do you like that? Don't like it. What? Too friggin' bad. You should have thought of it, but you didn't give a shit. You thought you did it all on your own.